welcome to another yoga studio. I'm Kat, for those of you who haven't tried one of our videos before, and it's great to have everyone along today with me on the mat. Thank you for being here. So we're going to do a basic beginner's movement of the spine with Pilates. So we've only got, I think it's 1, 2, 4 moves to do, and it's all about getting the spine moving. I think it's 4. All right, okay, so without further ado, let's come round onto our back. So we're going to just come to lie on the floor. If you find it's just a little bit uncomfortable lying flat on the mat without any support on the head, maybe the head looks like it's tilted right back, then just grab a little cushion from whatever's close by, take it underneath the head. In fact, it's always quite useful just to have something like a cushion close to you when you're working so that you can grab it sometimes when you need to, when we're working through the different exercises. So we're just going to bring the hands to rest on the front of your chest and just take 5 big breaths in just to help to start to center and grow a little bit of extra awareness of ourselves, our breath and our body. Let's breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Trying to see if you can feel the chest moving underneath the hands as you take some big, slow breaths in. And then move your hands down so that they're just over the pelvis, where the bony bit of the hip is. And we're going to play with our neutral spine position. So the neutral spine comes up a lot in Pilates, and it's just about finding a point where you are not pressing your lower back really far into the floor, and you're not arching the back and creating lots of space underneath it. You're somewhere in the middle, and this is different for everybody. So as you breathe out, try and just squeeze your belly button in. That starts to work the core, but what that also does is just help push the lower back down in towards the floor as you feel that point underneath your hips or underneath your fingers tilt back towards the mat. Breathe in, tilt the tailbone into the mat so you feel your fingers working the other way, and lift your chest right up off the floor. You can let your belly muscles go. Breathe out, squeeze the belly button down into the mat, use your stomach muscles to push the lower back into the floor, rolling your tailbone up, so feeling your hands rock your index fingers at the top rock in towards the floor. And then as you breathe in, take it the other way, tilt the pelvis up, feeling your little fingers start to tilt towards the floor. So we're going to do that one more time. Breathe out, tilt, walk to the mat, breathe in, lift from the mat. And then go for 2 more on your own. See if you can make the movements a little bit smaller and find a point where you feel like you are somewhere in the middle. If you have got a mirror at home, you can do this at any point in front of the mirror. That might help you just to see if you then look like you're level across the front, not kind of looking like your bum's lifting up or your tummy's lifting up. Keeping the cushion there if you need it, or maybe if you feel a little bit more comfortable now, take the cushion away. And we're going to play with that movement and build it up as we come into our shoulder bridge. So step the feet in a little bit closer so that they're just in front of the hips, and you can just feel the backs of the heels with your fingertips, that your arms rest by your side. And then as you breathe out, squeeze the lower back in towards the floor, and then start to squeeze your glute muscles in, the muscles in your bum, as you roll your tailbone then up off the floor. And we're just going to try and peel the vertebrae up off the mat. Doesn't matter how far you come up. Breathe in when you feel you come as far as you can. And then breathe out, roll back down through the spine. See if you can breathe in and just come back to that neutral position. Don't stress about it if you've worked, don't worry about it. Just try to refine it. Breathe out, turn the tailbone up. Feel the lower back dip into the floor, so you move out of that neutral position. Peel the vertebrae up off the floor, and then maybe you start to come a little bit higher as you come onto your shoulders. See if you can just prod one finger into your glute muscles. Make sure that they are trying to work. You want to lift them, squeeze them in to push the hips up. Breathe out. Roll back down. So we're going to do that 3 more times. Breathe out. Rolling up. So it feels like one vertebrae after another, almost like you're picking up a string of beads is lifting off the floor. And then as you breathe out, roll back down. See if you can place one bead at a time. Back down onto the floor. Last one. Rolling up. And then rolling back down. So you get that big stretch through the front of the body each time you come up. And then roll onto your side and just push yourself up to sitting. So we're going to find a comfortable position to sit in. So that could be with your legs crossed, or it could be with the knees out in front. If you feel like you're kind of rolling backwards and you're really struggling to sit, take that cushion and pop it underneath your hips. If you feel like you're still not quite high enough and you still can't quite bring your shoulders forwards over your hips, just stack cushions up or find maybe a big thick book or something, pause the video, grab what you need. Once you've found that comfortable position with your legs, bring your hands into the middle, so we've got a little prayer position, and we're going to breathe out. Twist from your belly, so you bring your shoulders round to the right. Breathe in, come back to the middle, and then breathe out, twist to the left. So you want to imagine that you've got a little thread pulling the crown of the head upwards. Breathing out, taking it to the right. Breathe in, come back to the middle, and then breathe out, take it to the left. Breathe in, come back to the middle. So we're going to do that 2 more times to either side. You breathe out, twist to one side. See if you can feel your shoulders melt down your rib cage. So if you, as you're sitting here, you start to feel like they're coming up towards your ears, just roll them back, drop them down the ribs. 1 more time to the left. And then come back into the middle. Move any props you've taken underneath your hips. Bring your feet back round behind you so you can come to lie down on the floor. So this is going to be our swan dive position, and we're going to get our lower back moving. So remember those glute muscles in our hips we were talking about that we were squeezing in to lift our hips up with our shoulder bridge right at the start? Those are going to be working again to protect our back. So we're going to find a comfortable position for the arms. So you could bring your elbows in line with your shoulders and your hands are just in front, so you look like you've got 2 capital L's. Or you could pull the elbows back a little bit and find a V shape. Squeeze the shoulders up to your ears and then melt them back down the spine and see if you can hold them there. So we're going to breathe in, melt the shoulders a little bit further down the back, peel the nose up off the floor, start to peel the front of the chest up off the floor, and then see if you can feel those muscles in your lower back and your glutes working. Breathe out, lower back down. So breathe in, peel yourself up off the mat, see how far you can come up, and then just take your hands away. See if you can feel those muscles in your back and your glutes. You don't actually have to touch them, but if it helps, touch them, see if they feel nice and strong and hard, and then breathe out, roll back down. We're going to do that 3 more times, so melt your shoulders down your rib cage. Peel the belly up off the floor. Maybe you start to lift a little higher. Breathe out, roll down. So breathe in, peel it up and back. Breathe out, roll back down through the belly and the chest. Last one. So you might even notice perhaps a little bit of work in the legs as you lift up. And then breathe out, roll all the way back down. And then you can just rest here with your head on your hands. Point the toes inwards and let the heels roll out. And that will just help to keep the legs relaxed. So if you find that your legs do start to feel uncomfortable in that swan dive and maybe they start to tense up at all, just try and then find this relaxed position when you work through the arch. And then we're going to push ourselves up. Maybe take a moment just to push the hips back to the heels to help stretch the back there. And then walk the hands back in. towards your knees and see if you can come up to a standing position. So this is our last exercise of the day, and it's called our roll down. So we're going to start nice and tall. The feet are underneath the hips. See if you can think about that neutral spine position that we did when we were laying on the mat while we're standing, so that we have our knees over our ankles, hips over our knees, shoulders over the hips, and then the ear is trying to come in over the shoulder. Don't worry if you're not sure if you can find it. It's about thinking about where we're going, not necessarily always about hitting it. We're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, take your chin towards your chest. Start to take a little bend in the knees, rolling down through the spine. So don't just bend at the hips, allow the chest to roll forwards. Take as big bend as you need in your knees as you need to bring your hands towards the floor. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, tuck the tailbone under. Try and stack the vertebrae one on top of the other. It's a bit like that shoulder bridge we did at the start. And roll yourself back up to standing. The last thing to come up is the head. Breathe in at the top. Breathe out. Take the chin down. Curl yourself down towards the floor. Rounding all the way down towards the mat. So remember, we're not just bending at the hips. We're curling forwards. Maybe take a smaller bend in the knees this time. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Tuck the tailbone under. Slowly round yourself. All the way up. And help your shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take the chin down. Start to curl down. Maybe take an even smaller bend in the knees this time. And just listen to the body. Take as big a bend in the knees as your back and your hamstrings need you to. Breathe in as you hang at the bottom. And then breathe out, round up. We've got one more. Breathe in at the top. And then breathe out, chin to chest. Start to curl down through the floor. So almost imagine you're stood against a wall with vertebrae on your spine. And you're just peeling the vertebrae off the wall. See if you can roll all the way down. Keep the chin tucked in. So you end up looking back through the knees. Maybe you can come down without bending the knees this time. Breathe in. And then put a little bend in the knees as you tuck the tailbone under and round up. So let's put a little bend in the knees as we curl up just to protect the back. Come all the way up to standing. See if you can find that point where you're stacked up from the heel to the knee, to the hip, to the shoulder, to the ear. Roll the shoulders up and then let your shoulders drop down by your side. Good. Well done. Hopefully that didn't feel too hard. That's the 4 exercises. Then just starts to get the spine moving and that strengthening feeling in the lower back. So if you have any questions about what we've done, leave it in a comment below. Or if you just liked it, leave a comment. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it. And remember to subscribe to the channel and so you can keep up to date with more videos. And our next video will be on Pilates. We'll be looking at our core. Okay, see you soon. Take care now. Bye.